Hi everybody, it's Amy with AmyMacArthurNutrition.com, and I want to talk to you today about the importance of family dinners. Do you make family dinners a priority at your house? We're all crazy busy. I know we got busy schedules. We have kids who have tons of activities throughout the day and late into the afternoon and into the evening. And sometimes it's just hard to sit down and do it. We just have to, fit things in as we can. And sometimes dinner just kind of takes a back seat and we just kind of get it whenever we can. But I want you to stop and think about how important it is and all the benefits that family dinners have for you and your children, and how good it can be for your family, and try to make it more of a priority. Many studies have been done that show so many benefits from sitting down to a family dinner on a regular basis. And one of those benefits is just that kids usually eat healthier foods. They are more likely to have fruits and vegetables and whole grains. And so when you have those good foods and you have a good variety and you have all those nutrients that our body needs, it just makes our bodies work better. It makes us feel better. And when we feel better, we're able to do more things. We're able to accomplish more. We're able to think more clearly. And when we feel better, we're just an overall happier person. So for all of those reasons, that's a really important reason for sitting down to family dinner. Children who sit down with their family for dinner regularly are also much less likely to be overweight and obese. And statistics show these days that 20% of our children are obese. So of course it's a huge problem. We all hear about it, and we need to take some steps to change that. And family dinner is a really big way to do that. Overweight and obese children are much more likely to grow up to be overweight and obese adults. And the older you get, the harder it is to change. So you want to start with your children when they're little and teach them those good habits. And obese and overweight adults are just so much more likely to develop health conditions like cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, all these things. So for that reason, of course, we want to give our children, our whole family, a good foundation and start those things early. Studies also show that children and teens who sit down with their family on a regular basis for dinner make better grades. They're less likely to smoke cigarettes, to use alcohol and drugs. They're more likely to open up and talk. So you get more get more out of them, and they're more willing to do that. So think about, dinner time is a time to sit down and talk about what's happened throughout the day, what they've accomplished, what new goals they've achieved, and make sure you praise them for things that they've done, and try to make sure you keep away all negative talk, no discipline, scolding during the dinner time. Make this a pleasant time and a time for just good positive conversations. So I want to encourage you to just make a few quick goals for yourself to try to make dinner more of a priority in your house. Just give yourself a minimum number of nights per week. That's the first goal. And it's hard to do it every night. It doesn't have to be every night, but if you do it a few nights a week and you do that on a regular basis, that can make a really big difference, make a big impact. So just give yourself a minimum number of nights that you're going to do it, whatever's realistic for you. And go ahead, goal number 2 is to go ahead and set the days that you're going to do it. Plan what you're going to have on the menu that night and figure out what you've got to do to make that happen. So you want to pre-plan a little bit. That makes a huge difference, because when you come home in afternoons and you've got all that work to do right then and there, you're probably just going to give up and say, oh, too much trouble, I'm just going to grab whatever I can. So kind of plan like the days that you're going to do everything you need to do to make those dinners happen. So say, for example, you're going to shop for the food on Saturday, and on Sunday, so maybe you have more time on Sunday than you do on other days. So you're going to, season the meats, or maybe even go ahead and grill the meats. I have a recent client that does this, and it's worked out really well for her. Her husband actually helps her on Sunday by grilling the meats that they're going to use that week for their meals. And so when she gets home in the afternoon, she just heats up those meats. She steams some vegetables to go with it. She gets a quick good starchy food to go with it. So maybe some, quick cooked brown rice, or some whole wheat pasta maybe that takes 10 minutes to boil, or a sweet potato or something like that. But those are the things that she has to do that afternoon or that evening right before dinner are really quick. But she's pre-planned, some of these things, so it makes it really quick and easy. So anyway, just come up with a quick plan for the week. And, it doesn't take that long to do it. And if you can get your husband to help you and your children to help you, or your wife, if your dad's been listening, that's all going to help as well. And the third goal I have for you is to involve the whole family. Let the kids take part. They can do things like stir and mix, and depending on the age, maybe some other things. Involve them in setting the table and putting the silverware and those kind of things on the table. Because number one, that's together time, and so that's just more time together that you're going to talk, and even if you don't realize, it's making a big difference on your children. And it's also a time when they can learn an important life skill. Learning to prepare foods and set the table and those kind of things. Those are really important things for them to learn later. I have a friend who has a child that's in college that was just telling me a really funny story about him trying to make something in his apartment, make something with ground beef, and he was really confused about how it came, that it was in a block. And he didn't understand how it got from the block to the ground up meat. So kind of a funny story. But anyway, we don't think about that sometimes, but eventually, they're gonna be out on their own, and so they need to know how to do these things. So we need to kind of teach them things along the way. And even if it takes a little bit longer or they make a little bigger mess than we want, it's important that we stop and let them do a few things too along the way so they can learn. So anyway, I want you to think long term. Think about the health impacts that the way you eat, how that's going to affect your children long term, and think about the memories that they're going to have. And do you want them to remember you always being in a car and flying from here to here and grabbing food whenever you can? Or do you want them to remember, nice family dinners where you sit down and talk? And they'll, they're going to remember, whatever you do. So try to, fit these family dinners in at least a few times a week, because it can make such a big difference. And this topic is the topic of my latest blog post, so I would love it if you would go to my blog and leave some comments. Tell me about dinner at your house, things that you do that make dinner more special for you and your family. And that's at amymcarthurnutrition.com. And I hope to see you there. I hope to see your comments. And until next time, thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.